Hi there, I'm Omega Red and welcome to Jay's Toy Collection UK. Hi there, welcome to Jay's Toy Collection UK and Happy New Year everybody. So this is it, the very first action figure review of 2024. And what an absolute bad boy I've got for you today. This turned up out of absolutely nowhere. So direct from Mondo. Luckily you paid in advance, there was no bill, that was good. This has turned up bang on time here in the new year. So I thought I'm going to jump straight on and do a review. So straight away you may notice that we're not in the review area, so that's because the box doesn't fit. The box is so big, near around 15-inch box we've got going on here, it wouldn't fit in the review area, so I've had to come downstairs to the living room. So you've got all Galactus in the background, but I have set the lights to red, so it's a bit more of the Omega Red flavour going on. You may notice from my voice, I've also been full of the festive flu, so that's why there's been no content for the last week. So bear with me because I do sound a little bit nasal. But here is Omega Red from Mondo, and he looks fantastic. And that's just the box art. So this is a first for a box that I've ever seen. His tentacles here are actually 3D. They are 3D stuck on tentacles. I know that's a silly little feature, but I think that's absolutely fantastic. That has really tickled me. So there is the great art book on the box. Of course, you've got the actual line art from the cartoon of some of the cells, revised October of 1994. It says down there in the corner. So I will get this bad boy open in a second, but let's just take a look at the rest of the box. Not much going on this side, really. Just tells you it's a 1/6 scale collectible figure, X-Men the animated series, of course, from Mondo. And the back of the box just has more basically concept art or sketches from the actual animated series themselves. You can pause that and zoom in if you want to take a closer look at some of that art, but it is very nice to see on some of these boxes. So I know they're black and white boxes, but a little bit of colour pops, and I do like the actual line art you've got there. So there's one thing left to do for the first time in 2024. And this one has Velcro, so it should be easy. It's time to hashtag flip open the flap. Oh, here it comes. Oh, look at that. There he is. There is the first time I'm seeing him along with you on the camera, and he looks absolutely mahoosive. So I said I couldn't fit him in the review inch. That review station upstairs is only designed for the 6-inch. And this guy, he's bigger than 12-inch. I think he's 13 inches. Where am I going to put my 13 inches? That's the first question for the comments section of 2024. And there's a bit of a bio there, potentially on the inside of the packaging. Look at the terrible shadow I'm casting down there. But as you say, trying to do a bit of a makeshift review area. So you can pause and have a little read of that section if you want. And now I'll try and get him out of the box. Right then, out the box, you get, of course, Omega Red in his clamshell tray. So you've got 2 interchangeable heads to go with him. The figure itself, that from first impressions, is looking very, very nice. A pair of interchangeable hands, a pair of small tentacles, then stuck underneath you get the extremely long, these look almost 12 inches of a extendable tentacle there, and you get the figure base underneath. So that's everything you get inside the box. So without further ado, I'll get him out and we'll take a closer look. And here we have him then, Omega Red in all his glory out of the packaging. And yeah, he does look really good. So I'll just give you a quick pan down and then we will take a closer look. So I have got him on his figure stand just to make sure he's okay, because I don't want to break him, but we will see how we're doing. So if I take some close-ups in here, then if we can get a focus there, you should be able to see all the cell shading and the detailing that Mondo have put on this figure. And it really is shell shading done well. That is such a hard sentence to say when you've got a cold is cell shading, but it is done very, very well, as they have done all their previous X-Men and Batman the Animated Series figures. I know Marvel Legends has tried the cell shading, but it honestly didn't really work in the 1/12 scale there for Marvel, but it does definitely work for Mondo here in the 1/6 scale. It brings out all the detail, and it does look like you've got an animated character literally jumps straight off your TV screen and into your living room here. So I believe he wasn't exclusive to Mondo. I'm not sure if they'll do a secondary version with maybe less accessories later as a general release, but at the moment I think he was only available as a Mondo exclusive. So you should be getting some nice shots there of all that paintwork in there. We might have a potential issue in the joints though, because there is paint in the joints, so will it rub? I don't know, but we will find out as we go on. But that is a good front look. Mega Red, let me give him a spin round. We'll give you more of a side view here, because you can see the cell shading does continue down the sides, all those different colours. 3 or 4 different colours they're using here to cast all those different shadows on the figure. And of course his hair has the shell shading in it, so this side is blonde and this side is more brown, as you can see, because the light will be cast in a different way. You can see more black cell shading actually compared to the other side, as opposed to the blue and the white on this arm here. So again, they are trying to cast the light from a different direction. Another company that does it well is NECA, of course, with their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon line. So that is a side view. I'm going to get our first rear view of 2024. So here we come. There it is. The Mega Red butt cheeks, ladies and gentlemen. What more could you want in a New Year's review? So again, the cell shading does continue and looking good. So let me take a closer look at the accessories. Right then, so we've got the head portrait you can see on the figure, but we do have 2 more sort of expressional faces. So if I bring this one in, hopefully it will focus for me. There we go. And we've got the sort of gritting teeth, kind of smirking emoji, but more of an angry gritting teeth. Again, the cell shading continues around the face. So it's a really, really good head sculpt, this alternate one there. So that's the first one you get. And you do get a second version as well, just coming in now. And this is the full angry, I'm going to attack Wolverine sort of face. So he's got full open mouth there. Again, in 1/6 scale, the open mouth does come through really nicely. I know Mezco tried it with the teeth and sometimes doesn't quite work in the 1/12 scale. But I suppose is the bonus of giving these larger figures in the 1/6, which is something I was new to collecting really in 2023. So I'm sure it will continue in 24. So that's the head sculpts. All right, take 27. Here's the closest shot I can get of the small tentacle. It doesn't like to focus. So that's probably as much as you're getting. But I did do something a little bit that made me laugh off camera. So there you go. Leave your comments below, ladies and gentlemen. A bit of forced perspective there. What do we call that? My goodness, what a shot that is. So we'll have to leave that in. That's the small tentacles, and there are now the large ones then. So these things are absolutely huge. As I say, they're taller than the figure. So the figure's about 13 inches. They're about 14 inches, these tentacles. They do have bendy wiring, so you can get a full, you can manipulate them as much as you like. So you do get a full, nice bendy wire on there, on the tentacle. And there is also bendy wire and small tentacles. So that's a Mega Red and his accessories. Let's take a little light look at articulation. I say light look at articulation because I don't really pose my Mondos or my Hot Toys. They go very sort of static poses in the shelf. But I will tell you at least where the articulation is. So your head is on a little bit of a swivel, but your hair is going to get in the way, and you're not going to get much up and down. Your arms will come up and down. Again, once you've heated up, you can probably get some more. You've got a cut here at the bicep there, and you've got your single joint bend there at the elbow. I'm sure, I think Mad Hatter's got a review up, so maybe he went through the articulation. I must check that out after. So consult him for better articulation than me. You will get a twist at the waist, but again, they're always quite stiff out the packaging. Got a slight QC issue, quite a loose leg, I think, on my right leg there. So I don't really want to move that one any further. Again, you've got your full double jointed knee there, and your ankle's got the swivel and everything in there. So that is about as much as you're going to get out of articulation from me. Not a lot, but if you actually do heat the figure up first, I would recommend that. And you definitely couldn't get some decent poses out of this thing, but I'm probably not the guy to push it because I'll break it. Right, the big old tentacles have been inserted. And look how far back I've got a pan just to try and get that all in one shot. They are so long. They probably will push in a bit further with a bit of heat, but that's as far I could get them because of the actual paint on there. So I'm going to have to go borrow the Mrs. Hairdryer, I think, at some point and just warm this bad boy up. So there is a Mega Red. So there's one thing left to do. Of course, it's the main event of most of these videos here. We've got to get him in the toy collection. So up to the toy room, or technically the live stream lounge in the office is where this bad boy is going to go. So let's go get him up there and I'll show you the rest of the collection. Right, you now find me up a ladder in the live stream lounge. And suffice to say, it did not go to plan. Because my shelf is 13.1 inches tall, and he's clearly about 13.2 inches tall. So we didn't fit. So I had to go to the bathroom, borrow the Mrs. Hairdryer, heat the knees up so I could get a nice bend in them. And then, by literally the skin of my teeth, by a millimetre, he fits in this IKEA Kallax unit. So he has taken His forever home then is at the back of the top shelf. His tentacles come all the way out to the front, and this is at least 13 inches deep. So as I say, those things are absolutely huge. So he's now up there with Wolverine and Jubilee in the top cube itself. So if I come right back, there is what you will see in the display. And then down in this cube, we've then got Magneto and Sabretooth. Now, at least one of these figures will be appearing on my top 10 of 2023, which will be the next video on the channel. So there is a shameless plug. Do stick around if you're watching this when it goes up. It will be Saturday night that the top 10 goes up. And I say at least one of these Mondos is in it. But of course, Omega Red being one of the first figures of 2024, he's going to have to wait to the year end of 2024 to make the list. But I think he certainly could be making the top figures of the list. Just aesthetically, it just looks absolutely superb. And he scales up really nicely, as you can see there, to Wolverine and Jubilee. Wolverine's probably a little bit tall in this line, so they probably could do with a redo on that Wolverine. I know some people would like to see that out there. But he's bigger than Sabretooth, because you can see Sabretooth has got a little gap between himself and the shelf. But there is no gap between Omega Red and the shelf, because he has got the ponytail on top. So he's a massive chunk of a figure. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Does definitely need a bit of heating for articulation, I would say that, and a slight QC issue on the leg, but he does stand perfectly fine. But I always do use the stands with the Mondos, just in case, because I don't want these figures falling on my head, and I don't want them breaking either. So that is the first review of 2024. Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Of course, hit that like button, and of course subscribe if you're new to here, as we try and hit 2K in 2024. I think that needs to be the goal. So we're going to try and get that subscriber number up. So if you are new here, please do hit that button. And of course, next time you see me, hopefully, I won't be this nasal. So I've been Jay. This has been Jay's Toy Collection UK. And I'll of course see you on the next video.